Hey guys, welcome back. So we went out to a birthday party earlier today and decided to make an impromptu stop at Steins on the way home. So I'll take you on that little trip. I'll show you everything that we got and what our thought process is behind it, and then we're going to get everything in the ground. So let's get going. In the front garden, we planted all of these dark grasses, and we wanted to continue on the grass border, and we planted the Elijah Blues. They weren't exactly what we're looking for, so we're going to replace all the Elijah Blues with more dark grass. Now we found this raspberry bush. We do have a black raspberry bush that we pick and eat off of during the early summer, but it has a lot of thorns and we kind of worry about the boys picking at those and getting hurt, and this is our alternative. This is a raspberry shortcake and it does not have thorns, and the boys will be able to pick this and eat these without us having to worry that they're going to get hurt. Now we want to continue our shade garden underneath our crabapple tree, and we're looking for something that's going to be a little shade tolerant or can deal with some partial sun. And we're looking at Heuchera or coral bells to plant underneath there, and they have a whole variety of color. Rhubarb is a great perennial and it can get pretty big, up to 4 feet. So I think I have a place I want to put this and give it a few years. Once it fills in, we'll be able to start using it.
Brussels sprout.
You want to get Brussels sprouts?
Yeah.
Leeks and collards.
Leeks and collards?
Yeah, can you make more for this?
Brussels sprouts? Griffey, you got to pick one more thing. Cauliflower or broccoli? Which one do you want?
Broccoli.
All right, let's go pick one. This is all broccoli. Pick one out.
Oh, that was a good one.
Does that look good?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what Mama's looking at.
So we're going to get 2 different types of strawberries. One of them is an everbearing, so we're going to get a little bit more consistent fruit throughout the growing season. And then this one is a June bearing. So I believe it's late June, early July, or mid-June, early July is when you are going to get the most fruit on this one.
Now we're back home. We're going to get some weeding done and then start getting the shade garden planted. So I think what we're going to be doing is placing the Heuchera amongst the hyacinth, kind of intersperse it within it and around it. So as the hyacinth starts to die off and the color starts to fade, the Heuchera is going to start blooming and really leafing out. So that color is going to take center stage. And that's really going to look nice, contrasting with the swamp milkweed that we've got coming up right next to it. And then scattered throughout the bed, we have a lot of this columbine that's starting to pop up. Now over in this corner we have our limelight hydrangea, and we do have 2 more of the PG hydrangeas that we picked up from the Arbor Day Foundation. So what I think what we're going to do is put that over in this area. But first thing we have to do is move this evergreen because it's going to be right in the middle of it. And we don't want to get rid of it, we want to save it. So that's what we're going to try to do, is pop this out, put it into a pot. PG hydrangeas at their full maturity will be about 10 to 20 feet tall and wide, which will be a nice addition to this area. It'll create a nice barrier for the morning sun for the shade garden, and 2 of them will fill this area out completely once they reach that full maturity level. First up for our Heuchera is going to be the caramel Heuchera from Monrovia. They're great in full to partial sun. They get to be about 14 inches tall and 18 inches wide and are hardy in zones 4 through 9. Next up is our Timeless Night Coral Bells from Blue Label. They again do well in full to part sun. They're great borders. They get to be about 20 inches tall and 20 inches wide, so they're a little bit bigger. They're hardy from zones 4 through 9. They are deer resistant. And what's nice about them is they have these burgundy colored foliage and these nice pastel pink flowers that start coming in spring and continue to bloom all the way into fall. The next shade tolerant plant we picked up is going to be Brunnera. This one's called Queen of Hearts. It gets to be about 18 inches tall, about 36 inches wide, and is deer resistant and easy to grow in the shade. It is hardy between zones 3 through 8. Alright guys, I think we're off to a pretty good start. We got all of our borders all set up with the hostas and the hydrangeas. Everything we're planting is very young, so it's going to take a while to fully fill in. But as that does fill in, it should help block off some of the sun, at least from the east, to allow the shade garden to thrive. As for the shade garden itself, I think we made some very good choices with the Heuchera amongst the hyacinth and then the Brunnera. The only problems that we have here are the astilbe and the ferns did not take off. They did not grow. So we are going to have to find a replacement for those, as well as something to fill in this very large area between the Brunnera and the hydrangeas. But that's going to be a different day. I'm going to say that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.